Okay, so the Department of Homeland Security just put out a statement, and I'm going to quote it. Coming to the United States for the sole purpose of creating content, thereby generating earnings from the United States, it's considered work and requires the appropriate visas. Now, on the surface, it sounds like they're targeting influencers. But the more you think about it, it targets anyone with a phone and a social media account. Because there's no threshold in the statement. It doesn't say you have to have 1 million followers, or only if you have 10. My question is, what if you do video or photography as a hobby, and you're in the United States just taking photos or videos, and you upload it to your social media to share it with your friends and family? In order to prove you're not making money on it, you have to show them your socials. And we know that'll be a situation that nobody wants to go through. But for anyone that's attending the World Cup right now in the United States, that is legitimately there to watch a game but maybe posting it on their social media, you are now a target. And I found this article on the Tourism Hell subreddit, who's run by Disrupt SQ. Very nice guy, he helps to reshare my videos. And this article goes into everything that I just mentioned, and what the possible risks are if you're going to the United States, not just for the FIFA World Cup, but you're going there just taking pictures and videos. If you're on Reddit, I highly recommend to subscribe to the Tourism Hell subreddit. Before I get started, I want to show a funny picture that I found. And this one's captioned, FIFA warns England supporters could be kicked out mid-game for offensive chants. And what was the chant they were saying? He's fat, with piles. He's in the Epstein files. Trump the C-U-N-T. I'm not going to say it. I just find it ironic that the United States, the land of the free, and the home of the brave, you can no longer say what you want, especially if it offends a tangerine tyrant. But I like this person's comment. No one is offended by this chant. I'm not. Let me know in the comments below if you're offended by this. Alright, let's get into this article. And the article is titled, US warns foreign influencers ahead of World Cup. Creating content on a tourist visa is illegal. Now, I want everyone to think about it not just from the World Cup point of view, but let's just say you're going on vacation and you brought some professional camera equipment with you, and you're doing this as a hobby. And to prove that you're not making any money on this, you're probably going to have to give them access to your social media, which nobody wants to do. Now, I'm going to read this article out for everyone, just in case you're listening or working out or at the gym or something, or you're also visually impaired. Now, this article was created on June 10th, so not too long ago, but it still applies. As the start of the World Cup draws near, the United States government has set its sights on foreign influencers. Immigration authorities have warned that individuals entering the country on a tourist visa may not use their stay to produce content intended to generate income from YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, or other online platforms, a practice for years that has been common among digital creators worldwide. Now, what comes to my mind right now are the travel vloggers internationally that travel to the United States to make videos, showcase their trip, and tell people what to see in, like, say, San Francisco or New York. There are thousands of creators like this on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. But the fact that we know that they're zeroing in on this now, would any influencer outside of the United States want to risk it? I mean, there's still going to be thousands of influencers going to the United States to do their vlog videos. But the fact that we know that they're going to be focusing on this, and it will probably be a question at the CBP desk. I have to wonder in the future how many people are going to get rejected, or how many people are going to have to prove themselves that, no, I'm not making money from this, and then have to show all of your social media as proof. Anyways, getting back to the article. The message arrived at a critical moment, just ahead of one of the planet's biggest sporting events, which will draw hundreds of influencers, I think it's going to be more than that, eager to document the experience for millions of followers. It is unclear what the impact of these new restrictions announced by the Taco Tuesday administrations will have. To date, it is unknown whether they have already been enforced. Coming to the United States with the sole purpose of creating content as an influencer, thereby generating earnings from the United States while in the country, is considered work and requires the appropriate visas, says a joint statement from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection and the Department of Homeland Security sent to El Pais. I guess that's the article people. People who enter the United States under a visitor program and receive income from a U.S. source would be violating the conditions under their admission status. Now, I'm not questioning that. I mean, if you want to go to the United States and work, yeah, you got to get the proper visa. What I am questioning is going to be all the false positives that they're going to call out. Like those that might be going to the United States for a legit vacation and just recording it. Or those that might just be profiled and they're going to say, oh, I think you're a blogger. Show me your social medias and prove that you're not making money. Let's be real here. That's going to be a question that they're going to get at the CBP desk. I mean, if the United States was smart and they wanted to fix their tourism industry, they should be allowing these influencers in to promote their country. But then again, the US administration, they're not very bright. The tourist visa, B2, allows entry to the United States for leisure, vacations, family visits, or medical treatment, but prohibits engaging in work activities or receiving income derived from work performed on the US soil. It also does not authorize staying beyond the time granted by the authorities. Violating these conditions can result in a visa cancellation, deportation, restrictions on future travel to the country. For content creators, one alternative is the O1 visa, aimed at people with extraordinary ability in fields such as arts, business, science, or sports. Under certain conditions, the visa allows professional paid activities, including brand collaborations, promotional tours, and the production of content for commercial purposes. A government source told El País that the Taco Tuesday administration plans on tightening inspections at the airports and border crossings for Mexican influencers and for those from other countries who use a tourist visa to work and generate large earnings. The source, who requested anonymity because they were not authorized to speak publicly, said the goal is to protect American jobs. Now, do we believe that excuse, that is to protect the American jobs? Or is it just to make things more difficult for us to enter into their country? Their own videos give them away, the source said, alluding to dozens of foreign creators who have even documented how they obtained the visa at a US embassy and then traveled to various US cities to film content for their YouTube channels and digital platforms. So the way I'm reading this, and this is just my opinion, it sounds like they already know who these travel vloggers are. They already know who's making money on YouTube and other digital platforms, which means when you get to that CBP desk, they might already know, which also means that they're monitoring. Which makes me wonder, like, if you're a big influencer and you're just going on vacation but you're not going to be recording, are they going to scrutinize you? Anyways, back to the article. This activity can generate millions in revenue, and some influencers have larger audience than traditional media, thanks to the rise of the platforms like YouTube and TikTok. The most popular ones earn additional income through advertising, sponsorships, brand deals, and by supporting political campaigns. Meta, owner of Instagram and Facebook, as well as YouTube and TikTok, did not respond to requests for comments on the measures. The FIFA World Cup is shaping up to become one of the digital phenomena of the year and represents a golden opportunity for digital creators. 78 out of the tournament's 104 matches will be played in the United States, spread across venues such as Los Angeles, New York, Miami, Dallas, Houston, Seattle, Atlanta, and San Francisco. Influencers expelled. Alarms went off with the Taco Tuesday administration, according to the source interviewed by this outlet, after the arrest of Cabby Lame, one of TikTok's biggest stars and among the most followed digital creators in the world, with more than 160 million followers on the platform. Now, if you don't know who this guy is, I use his meme on my channel quite often, and I guess he's good at calling things out. The Senegalese Italian influencer was arrested in Las Vegas, Nevada on June 2025 for remaining in the US after the authorized period of his visa has expired. He was later released and voluntarily left the country to avoid formal deportation order, a penalty that would have barred him from returning for several years. I thought his last name was Lane. Rose to global fame during the COVID pandemic, thanks to his silent videos and characteristic facial expressions. Another case that drew authorities' attention was that of Venezuelan national Liano Moreno, known on social media as the migrant influencer. The young man came under the government scrutiny after posting TikTok videos in which he allegedly encouraged illegal behavior, such as occupying abandoned homes and taking advantage of public assistance programs. Okay, this guy sounds like an idiot. Moreno had an open asylum case, but stopped attending mandatory check-in appointments with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. I didn't cross the Rio Grande to work like a slave, he said in one of his videos, while displaying a $100 bill that he said came from the government aid programs. Authorities deported him in March 2025. Okay, this guy's an idiot. He deserved to be deported. For Vance Owen, an entertainment industry lawyer in Los Angeles, these immigration measures still leave questions about their scope and enforcement. After all, what concerns the government is tax evasion, the authorities believe. Technology moves faster than laws, and perhaps we're seeing a situation in which tax laws, federal laws, are adapting to the new situation of influencers because they didn't exist before the internet. It's something new, and some tax laws are 100 years old or older. We are seeing clashes between technology and old laws. Now, this part I do agree with. I don't think the tax laws have caught up with technology. There's no really big laws right now when it comes to AI either. But we can't discount the fact of the actual US government right now. And what I mean by that is their current reputation, their track record, their blatant disregard for their own laws, and also blanket covering laws on things that might not even apply. The world's not stupid. We can see what's happening. There's racial profiling. There's lots of CBP officers, men and women, throwing around their weight at the border. And the Taco Tuesday supporters, they'll say it's a privilege to get into their country. Well, personally, I don't feel like it's a privilege being treated like shit at the border, being assumed guilty before proven innocent, and being treated like third-class citizens before we even get into your country. Ah shit, I just realized I have one more screenshot. Let me finish this one off first. Owen is worried about how these new regulations would be applied, since he considers the internet a free field. How can a country put reins on a business that is global? I have more questions than answers, he said. The lawyer thinks there may be exceptions if, for example, a tourist records a video that goes viral and then begins gaining millions of followers on social media. That wouldn't violate the law because they came in good faith. They weren't an influencer, and their fame arose out of nowhere, he explains. I think they're trying to fit something old to something new, and sometimes that shoe doesn't fit that foot. Now, that's a very good point. I mean, what if you're recording a video of, say, the Grand Canyon, and somehow the video goes viral? Are you in violation? Will it affect your next trip to the United States? You see, for me, this leaves too much for interpretation. And the whole decision is going to be left up to an angry CBP guard. And depending if his bowel movements are happening, he might reject you and then go to the bathroom. I mean, this has really happened. I've had a viewer email me this story. But the actual law is there and it's in place. My biggest question is, how far is CBP going to make you go to prove that you're not making money? I mean, obviously, you're going to have to give them access to your social media. But I'm not the only one questioning it, and these are some of the comments that came from the Tourism Hell subreddit. So, anyone with an online presence cannot travel recreationally, or take videos or photos and put them online? I hope no one ever makes US travel content again. In this next comment, and they wonder why tourism has dropped in the USA. Keep piling it on. Hopefully this all leads to a world where the USA has very little influence, and nobody wants to deal with them. It'll be exactly what they deserve. And this last one. This is going to be brutal if they crack down on all the van lifers and overlanding crowd who put out videos. Like I said earlier, any of these content creators that are overseas, going to the United States, making these kind of videos, they're going to have to be careful moving forward. If your camera looks too professional for them, you better be prepared. So I want to hear everyone's thoughts on this video. Do you think the United States is just following the rules? Or do you think they're going too far? Or do you think they're just using this as an opportunity to keep people out? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. To close out this video, I would like to thank Avanar from our Discord server for taking this photo of High Falls near Bracebridge, Ontario. I don't think I've had a photo from Bracebridge before, so thank you for adding a new photo to our map. I think we definitely need more photos from the territories, as well as northern BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Ontario, and even northern Quebec. Oh, and also Newfoundland and Labrador as well. So if anyone has any photos from those regions, feel free to send it over to me. And for those waiting for the co-host, she's here, but she's just not making any noise right now. So you're going to have to wait for the next video if you want to hear her. Alright everyone, that's it for this video. If you found any value in anything I said today, or you want to hear more from a Canadian and international point of view, without the US media bias, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button below. That way you'll be notified of my future videos. And don't forget to hit the bell icon and select all as well. Now if you want to see more of my videos, check out the ones that are going to show up on your screen shortly. Thanks everyone, I'll catch you in the next one.